Hello again, everyone. It's Anthony D. Lee here again. Today, I thought I'd look through some pencil stuff that I've done that's been waiting for me to finish it. Can't really do any new drawing at the minute because my shoulder and my hand are still a bit messed up. So yeah, let's have a look through these. A lot of these will be going off to a friend of mine, Inca Sam De La Rosa, who is he's kind of best known for sort of Venom, Lethal Protector. He did that over Mark Bagley. He's done so many things at Marvel and DC and independent comics. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what he does with sort of layouts that I'll send him, really. So okay, here we go. First up, we've got Venom versus Spider-Man. It's a lot looser than I usually go in my pencils, as you'll see, because I kind of want Sam to have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, that should be good. And next up, we've got. Let's turn that one sideways because there we go. Is that on camera? There we go. There's a Hela headshot, a lot larger than I usually do them. That should be quite fun. Everything's falling off the board. Here we go. There we go. The joys of not being prepared. This one is a homage to John Romita Sr., which Sam loves doing Spider-Man stuff, so I'm going to try and sort of load him up with Spidey stuff that he can sell at his convention appearances. So yeah, that one was fun to do. And a Symbiote Spider-Man, or Symbiote Spider-Man, or however you want to say it. That one was quite fun. Bit more of an action shot, that one. And Spider-Girl. I don't think Sam worked on any of that, but it's Spidey related, so you know he does enjoy stuff like that. Oh, here we go. Another homage piece. This one is homage to Joe Sinnott's cover for Spider-Woman #1 from I think 1979. Don't quote me on it. That's again should look wonderful when he's finished it. Another Spider-Man homage. This one from Amazing Spider-Man 60 something. Originally done by John Romita Sr. and Jim Mooney. Oh, camera wobble. This is one of my favourite Spider-Man panels of all time. So again, fun to recreate. This one, of course, is the Watcher. And these four faces here are actual alternate Spideys from issues of What If. It's the one where he was an actor. That's Flash Thompson. That's Betty Brant, and that one is what's his name? John Jameson. There we go. That one should look nice. And Spidey and Spider-Ham, just for fun. That one's quite good. It's Spider-Ham is always quite fun to draw. You can sort of cut loose with him. Moon Knight. Don't know if you're watching the Moon Knight series. I'm quite enjoying it myself. That's more of a classic comic Moon Knight rather than the MCU version. And a kind of homage to Amazing Spider-Man 100, but with the black costume and sort of villains from around that time period. So you've got like Puma and The Answer, Titania and Absorbing Man, Hobgoblin, Rose, Firelord. That was a really good issue where he fought Firelord. But they're all from sort of around the 252 to 300 era. Another Spidey homage there with a couple of heads in the background. This one you'll probably recognise from Secret Wars #8, Mike Zeck and John Beatty. There's a classic Iron Man. I always tend to default to that version of Iron Man. It's kind of my default version of Iron Man in my head. It's the one I always see. Next up here is a Venomized Galactus. This was, I think it appeared in like one or two panels of a Web of Spider-Man by Alex Saviuk. It's that was quite fun to do as well. Galactus is a bit of a pain to draw, but the Venomized one is really kind of simplified down. Now these ones here is a character of my own devising. She's called Sense of Wonder. I'm hoping to do a kind of pin-up book of just her. The idea of it is that she's just this being made of light who is finding sort of joy in the ordinary. So this one, she's experiencing snow. And this one is just experiencing rain, which has put her hair out. As her hair is kind of fiery. She's made of light, but her hair's like fiery. That one's quite fun. This one, she's flying with some bats. These will all be rendered in colour at some point when they're finished. And this one, she's making friends with a giraffe. This is quite. This is where that's the moment I discovered that giraffes are not easy to draw. And that one, she's just kind of flying the cosmos, as you do, you know, looking for new things to be wondrous about. And she's having a swing. It's all very whimsical, you know. It's a lot of people do sort of pin-up books of characters fighting and stuff like that. I wanted to do something a little bit more, I don't know, a bit more joyous. Oh, okay. And flying with some butterflies, which is always fun, apparently. Not that I've done it. And having a skip. It's actually fun putting the kids in the backdrop there, because she's sort of skipping in midair, which it sort of defeats the purpose a little bit, but it's still fun. And there she's underwater floating with an otter. Of course, her hair being fire, it's just sort of bubbly, steamy bubbles, which is fun. Oh, there we go. And back to the characters. So here we have, oh God, what's her name? Shadow Weaver from the Netflix She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. That was fun to do. It's sort of slightly out of my style, a bit more angular. Good fun. What else we got? That's John Stewart Green Lantern. The pose of that I actually homaged from a John Romita sketch that I found in a book, and that it looked quite fun to do, so I had a little go on that. Another Spider Ham, this time with Spider Gwen, or Ghost Spider as she's known now. That's a fun one to do. I think that one's going off to Sam. Good old Superman, having a fly and looking hopeful. He's actually a difficult character to get looking quite right. You've got to sort of tread the line between classic and modern with him, I think. And my style is more sort of retro and classic anyway, purely because of the fact of I'm old. And Squirrel Girl, she was fun to draw, and of course Tippy Toe. Always nice to sort of drop a little background element in, even if it's just a circle or a shape. Helps to throw the characters a little bit more forward. This one some of you might recognise. She's the Golden Age Black Cat from Harvey Comics. I think she was a Hollywood actress who fought crime. She didn't have any powers or anything, but she was an expert fighter. And the Scarlet Witch, of course, needs no introduction. Again, with one of those kind of weird background elements, it's just so the character's not floating on a sea of white. It always kind of helps to kind of anchor the character a little bit into the artwork. There's Catwoman. Oddly enough, after doing that, I saw a statue online. With same Jim Ballant costume. It's very, very similar. And I was like, oh God, people think I've copied that, but no, it's one of those things, I think. She was always good fun to draw too. Who else we got? The Vision, coming through the background element, which is always a fun thing to do with the Vision, to sort of show his powers a little bit. Machine Man, or X-51, if you will. He's another Marvel 70s character. You're going to see a lot of 70s characters in here, done in my 70s style, because I'm from the 70s. It's, you know, it stands to reason that the versions that are set in my brain are the versions I was first exposed to. I think that holds true for most of us, really. There's the Red Guardian, comic version, not as he appeared in the Black Widow film. He was fun to do because he's basically just a different Captain America, essentially. Sometimes he has a shield, a lot of the time he doesn't, so I opted not to put the shield on him. Bizarro, I really hope you hate this one. He was fun to do as well, and he's more cartoony than realistically put together, but I think that's part of the charm of the character myself. Here we have a character that predates Wonder Woman. It's Nelvana of the Northern Lights. She was one of the very first sort of super heroines, Inuit heroine. So, you know, she kind of blazed a trail on several fronts, I think. And the Black Knight, in his classic sort of outfit. I know for a while in the 80s he did wear a kind of like a leather jacket without the cape and the helmet a lot of the time, and he had a laser sword, but I always go classic. That's it's my go-to way of doing things. There's Moondragon with Thanos and the original Drax the Destroyer in the background as faces. That's quite fun. It's again, just a little kind of background element of sort of cosmic-y. Once it's in colour, there'll be sort of patterning and shapes and things like that done in the markers there. Mockingbird. Many of you may know her from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series, but this is the classic comic version. Wildcat. I don't know a great deal about Wildcat, but I love his look. And I know he was a boxer or a wrestler or a fighter or something like that. Someone will probably tell me in the comments. So I sort of threw in the boxing ring background, and that's quite fun. It's a fun little element that sort of throws him forward. There we go. Donna Troy, Wonder Girl. This is her Teen Titans look. That was fun to do. Trying to make her different from Wonder Woman. Even though I think at the time she was Wonder Woman. One of her origins is that she was a reflection of Wonder Woman that was brought to life or something like that. But I've completely lost track of things like that. I should imagine that's not continuity anymore. This is a recreation and homage of a classic Sal Buscema Hulk, but I've kind of done my own face for him. I really like the kind of gorilla look of the early Hulk, so I sort of substituted that in for the more sort of 70s style that it was originally drawn in. And of course his cousin Jennifer, She-Hulk. Always try to make her look kind of strong and muscly without going too far with it. You can go too far and make her look like a muscle man, really. It's which is not where you want to go with it. We got Daredevil. That one's going to need some tweaking. I'm pretty happy with the overall pose. I haven't put a background on him yet because he's not quite finished. That's a good start. Another one that's going to need some tweaks here, Dead Man. This arm is a little bit too pulled back. It looks unbalanced, a little bit awkward. The rest of him's fine, so it just needs to pull out down here a little bit more. I think the hand and a little bit more of the arm coming through. Another Golden Age heroine here. This is Miss Fury, or Ms. Fury. I think it's Miss Fury. Dropping in on a couple of unsuspecting burglars that are about to get their butts kicked, almost certainly. I mean, they don't look too happy about it, do they? That's that one. Neymar the Submariner. Tried to give him a little bit of a smug little smirk there. You always got to try and kind of get the personality across with a single image. I think that works pretty well. There's Raven, another Teen Titans character. She needs a couple of little tweaks as well, just to so I'm happy with the overall finish of it. I might adjust her cape a little bit. It looks a little bit too much like bat wings to me, so that's got to have a little bit of an adjustment to it. Black Widow in a classic 70s look. That's a fun one. Not really much you can do with an all black bodysuit, but you sort of have to put highlights on it, and just that's the way you add the visual interest to it. This is a little bit different. Another Dead Man, but I kind of shaded it out fully with pencil. Added some white pencil in here for highlights and some white gel pen. That was fun to do, a little experiment. The paper's a little bit dark for that sort of thing, so I'll be trying that on some different toned paper at some point. And another one there's a Dark Phoenix. Another little experiment there. It's good for practicing lighting and things like that with the white pencil and the highlights and that. So they were quite fun. There's Black Bolt from the Inhumans. He's quite fun to do. He's got one of those kind of strange, the sort of concertinaed wings is a bit of a pain to get right. You have to sort of arc it and then figure out how you're gonna do the sort of scalloped edge of it. But he's fun. Tigra. Yes, another 70s character. I know. But yeah, she's fun to draw as well. And again, trying to get a little bit of that kind of playful personality across, where Black Bolt here is grumpy looking. You know, she's kind of happy-go-lucky and sort of smiley and happy, and you know, life is fun. Next up we have Supergirl, flying with some birds. And again, I just wanted to get sort of the kind of happiness of being able to fly. I can imagine it'd be a wonderful thing to feel yourself being able to fly. So that was fun. Cyclops fighting someone, I don't know, but they're having to go back at him if the explosions are anything to go by. That's a fun one, with his optic blasts going off into the distance. I seem to recall that he didn't always have to touch the button on the side of his visor, so I didn't bother. Everyone kind of does that. It's a little bit overdone. So I know sometimes in the earlier comics he used to be able to just let go at full blast without having to open the visor. Oh, there we go. Captain Marvel. Or Captain Marvel as was. I think she's Photon now. Old Monica Rambeau. That's a fun one. I love doing space backgrounds, like doing the planets and the sort of Kirby Crackle and the nebulas and things like that. I might not do that one in black ink as a space backdrop. I might do that one in markers, because I've kind of developed a new technique for doing sort of spacey nebula backgrounds with the markers. So that should turn out quite nicely. Another Symbiote Spidey. I like drawing him upside down, apparently. It's another kind of action shot springing towards us. You can tell it's a symbiote because it's coming out of the back of his hand rather than the thwip thwip that we're used to. If I draw the black costume with the regular Spidey hand, it's the cloth costume. This one, of course, is the symbiote. And next up we got Black Cat. That was a fun one to draw. That one there, that profile there is my cat, Caramel. And I thought I'd get her in there. But yeah, that was fun to do. Again, in her sort of classic look, not the more sort of sexy, revealing looks that she's had over the years. I tend to go more kind of classic, and if a female character is going to be sexy, it's going to be because, you know, she's just exuding a quiet sort of confidence, not sort of out and out. You know, here are my round bits. Have a look. It's a bit of a fine balancing act sometimes, but I tend to go sexy rather than sexualized. And of course, here we have Spider-Man 2099, one of the more modern characters that I've drawn. Although saying that, I think he's probably about 30 years old now, or no, 20 years old. He come, yeah, 30th anniversary of Spidey was when he debuted. That was fun to do. And Hela, it's a comic version again. That kind of John Buscema look, which is one of my favourite kind of periods of Thor. And again, just sort of giving her a quiet strength to her. You know, the characters don't have to be in your face with kind of ridiculous poses. You can put them in a fairly straight up pose like that and it will still be effective and powerful. And I think that is it. Yep, that's it. So let's pop these back up here. That one there. Oh, there we go. Pop those back there. And that's a little look at some pencil stuff. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope to bring you some new drawings soon as my sort of shoulder and wrist recover. It's I don't really want to push it because I want to kind of get back into the flow of doing things. So thank you for watching. If you like what you see, there's a lot more to look at over at Instagram at ADLeeArt, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Cheers everyone. Bye bye.